Welcome to the Comic Book Show, episode number 100, where I'm looking at all the new comics I picked up at the comic book shop this week. 100 episodes, I guess that's a pretty big deal, right? Just means I've done the same thing I've done 99 other times. Go to the comic book shop, come home, and make a dumb YouTube video about it, showing you all the stuff I picked up. But hey, 100, cool milestone, I guess, right? Let's do another 100. I'm all down for it. This is probably my favorite thing to do every week. Especially over the past few months, this has really been keeping me going. So, but to try and keep this from becoming a therapy session, let's just get right into it. Everything I picked up at the comic book shop this week. Got my Marvel fanboy hat on in honor of episode 100 here. And it's fitting because while I did pick up some Marvel books this week, mostly all Marvel, I didn't pick up any DC books this week. So we're gonna Marvel fanboy it up here today. I did pick up one Image book, we'll get into that. And I have one significant purchase this week, something really cool that came out this week from Marvel Comics that I'm gonna get to at the end. I'm a huge X-Men fan, so you might be able to guess what it might be. I'll just give you a little taste, a little teaser there, a little hint of what's to come. But I want to thank all you guys for watching, and all you guys and gals, and thanks again if you've subscribed. If you haven't already, please do. Doesn't cost anything. And also check out my Patreon at Kaufman is Live Comics over on Patreon, where I've got some exclusive videos and all my unedited videos are over there. So once again, thanks again for watching, and without further ado, let's get into all the new books I picked up this week. First thing I got, let's knock out this Image book. First, I got Final Boss, issue number 7 here. Let me fix that light. There we go. Tyler Kirkham is on the cover there, and he's the artist and writer of this book. This was $3.99 off the comic shop rack. Tyler Kirkham, creator and artist. I picked up every issue of Final Boss. I give it my highest recommendation, especially if you love like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter video games. This should be right up your alley. It's pretty much like a video game being turned into a comic book here, except this is all stuff created by Tyler Kirkham. So it's a whole brand new series with brand new characters, although they all are, derivative of other characters like in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or in other comics. But I still think that it's pretty cool stuff nonetheless here. Really nice looking owl there. This character almost looks like a Court of Owls type of character who he's been fighting throughout here. Or like some sort of owl knight. And we get the Street Fighter homage here, the victory screen. They do this every time Tommy Brazen has a fight. We get that. Which, I don't know, I guess could get played out at some point, but it hasn't yet to me. Of course, we've got this sexy businesswoman pulling the strings in the background here. This book has such a 90s Image vibe. I'll get a Tony Daniel pin up there in the back. That's really cool. And we get some, are these previews of the next issue? I think these are preview pages of the next issue here. And the Tree of Power, this is another cool thing they do every time Tommy Brazen defeats one of the other characters. He's rising up in the Tree of Power here, and his stats are all increasing. So following Tommy Brazen throughout this book is like following your character in the video game. Definitely one of the coolest concepts in comic books right now. Final Boss, issue number 7. Next thing I picked up, Ultimate Endgame, issue number 5 here. Picked up this as well as Ultimate Universe Finale number 1. So to me, these are the final 2 Ultimate Universe books, although man, I hope this Ultimate Universe Finale is just a one-shot. Honestly, I don't remember. I hope this is not like another 4-issue Ultimate series. I don't think I could take it. So this is a pretty thick book though. So this looks like this is probably a one shot. Hopefully. But we'll get into Ultimate Endgame issue number 5 here first. I got this really cool looking variant cover here. I'm not sure who the artist is on this one. Then we got Ultimate Endgame here and the Ultimate Universe finale. Kind of go hand in hand, I guess. Pretty weird that they got released on the same day. You'd think they'd maybe space it out a week so it's not so confusing. And I imagine we got to read Ultimate Endgame 5 first and then Ultimate Universe finale number 1. Although I don't know that for sure. Although I'm assuming the finale is at the end. And like I said, I wonder if this is a... is this just a one-shot, the finale? I hope so. I hope this is not Ultimate Universe finale miniseries, but yeah, let me just flip right to the back and spoil it all for you without any warning. Sorry about that, but talk about the covers real quick. Got the Ryan Stegman cover for the Ultimate Universe finale, and Ultimate Endgame number 5, I got a variant cover because you always get the main cover printed on the interior. This really nice Mark Brooks cover on the interior. I really like that. But if you'd pick this up, it'd have like a little border and logo on it. So I don't like those very much. So I picked up this variant cover. I'm not sure who this artist is here. It's definitely kind of a Japan style to it, an anime look. Warning, I'm flipping to the back few pages, so I'm trying to find the credits. Maybe they're at the beginning here. Oh yeah, they're at the beginning on this one. You never know with comics anymore. Where are the credits? It's always a scavenger hunt trying to find them anymore. DC will put them at the back. Marvel sometimes puts them at the back. But we got some variant cover artists. Marcos Martin, Phil Noto, Stonehouse, Terry and Rachel Dotson, Stefano Caselli and David Curiel, Marco Cicchetto and Marcio Meniz. Man... Stefano Caselli, I think that's whose that signature is. I'm pretty sure this is a Stefano Caselli cover there. And actually, yeah, I believe they were the artists on Ultimate Black Panther, if I'm not mistaken. This definitely looks like that art style. So I think I solved it there without just going on Google and looking it up. But so this is the finale to Ultimate Endgame. And man, I just think the Ultimate Universe in general has really run out of steam right here at the end, unfortunately. There's so much hype at the beginning with Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Wolverine and the Ultimates, even Ultimate Black Panther. Everyone was going crazy when that book first came out. All the hype eventually died down. And I think Marvel announcing that this series would be this entire line would be ending after 2 years, a solid 24 issues, 24 months. They had it all timed out here. Even in storyline, the maker had it all timed out. So I think in the end, that kind of hurt things, knowing that this was going to be ending. It made people less inclined to pick it up, it seemed like. Get some Terry Dotson pages in here. I can tell immediately his stuff. And the way they turned the maker into like just this like giant tree, and he was everywhere all at once, very reminiscent of some things that they've been doing in some other comic books recently, like the Age of Revelation, when Doug Ramsey tried to take over the Earth, pretty much in the same manner that the maker's doing here. So, but I've been all in. I've collected every single issue of Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimates. In Ultimate Endgame. So, I've been all in on this Ultimate series, and I want to see how it ends. And we got Spider-Man here, it looks like. Maybe spoiler alert, because I thought he was killed off already, but apparently he's back. He's still around. That's cool to see, at least. Marco Cicchetto doing his Spider-Man stuff here, which is cool because I thought it was all going to be over, and I felt like we were just getting started with all these characters and the way everything's set up here with Peter and Mary Jane being married with kids. Felt like we just scratched the surface of all of it. Perhaps it will be continuing though. Maybe Marvel we'll be continuing this Ultimate line at some point down the road. Honestly, I don't think it was very wise of them to end it here at 24 issues and announce it like a year beforehand either. Really, they announced it at the start, so I don't think they were trying to fool anyone necessarily. Oh, let's talk about this. The Amazing Spider-Man number 1000 cover by John Romita Jr. I actually brought this up last week when I first saw this piece. And I said, it looks like Spider-Man's just going like, what are we doing here? What the fuck? What's going on? He's like giving a big shrug there is almost what it looked like. I made the joke because I felt like that was kind of how I feel about Amazing Spider-Man 1000. Like, what are we even doing with Spider-Man these days, right? Maybe that's his own little inside joke. But turned out a lot of other people kind of felt the same way I did looking at this cover and the pose Spider-Man was in. And maybe for different reasons. They didn't necessarily, they thought that the pose just looked like ridiculous. I can see what John Romita Jr., of course, one of the great legendary comic book artists from Spider-Man or Daredevil, you can see what he's trying to do here in the perspective of Spider-Man, flying through the air. Maybe some of the way they colored it doesn't help it, but when I've seen it just with the pencils and the ink jobs without the colors, it looks like it makes a little bit more sense, but this just looks a little too flat, I guess. It's the best way to describe it. But Marvel pulled the cover based on all the controversy, which was pretty crazy. Not something Marvel's ever really done before. They've pulled covers because of controversial things or things being hidden by an artist in a cover. They've done that, or certainly edited covers for release before. But just pulling a cover because people said they didn't like the piece of art, I think that sets a dangerous precedent. If we start getting too many people like on Twitter or TikTok complaining about a specific cover of somebody's, and then Marvel just pulling it based on some minor feedback, I would call it. I think that sets a dangerous precedent. I mean, art is supposed to be subjective. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting thing that happened this past week. But it turns out Marvel, after pulling the cover, they decided to reverse course and they put the cover back on after people started complaining that they pulled it. So Marvel just, I don't know, in my opinion, not handling it the best, kind of screwing everything up and honestly making John Romita Jr. look bad. So this comic book looks like it's set up with each of the Ultimate books getting their own little section here by their creative team. So just kind of putting a little epilogue, I guess, a little finale on all these books. So get like some Peach Momoko pages here. Who's doing the Spider-Man stuff here? Alessandra Cappuccio is doing the artwork on Ultimate Wolverine there. So we get like all the creative teams coming back. Dennis Camp and Juan Frigeri on the Ultimates. And let's skip to the final page here and get spoiled, if you guys don't mind. Or if you do, maybe skip ahead about 10 seconds. But here's the final pages here. Some really pretty looking stuff. Some nice colors there. Ultimate Universe finale number 1 here. This was $7.99 off the rack, but again, I think this is like a 48-page book, so maybe worth it. Maybe worth it to you. I don't know. Love the Ryan Stegman cover though. Like all the little bricks, all the detail and all this stuff. We got the main characters here in the middle. This is just a great cover. Ryan Stegman, one of my favorite comic book artists. And the final thing I picked up this week, something I've been looking forward to. Can't believe they actually released this. X-Men Elsewin by John Byrne. So this is a hardcover. It's over 300 pages. This was $40, but I splurged because I had seen reports online that this is already sold out at the distributor level. So this will be hard to find once it sells out in the shops. Of course, this was the first day this had come out. So I picked it up while I could before prices most likely skyrocket on this first edition of this. This is only a volume 1, so it actually ends on a cliffhanger, and we've got more to come from John Byrne. So Pretty exciting stuff. Let's flip through this. The final thing I'm going to look at today is this John Byrne X-Men Elsewind Volume 1. This is really cool. This is by Marvel Arts, which is like their book publishing line. There's only been a couple other releases from the Marvel Arts department, but this is really nicely put together. I could not resist this. This was $40 off the rack. Like I mentioned earlier, this is sold out at the distributor level, so you cannot order it anymore. I saw it, there had a few copies on the shelf at my comic shop, so I figured I better pick it up now before having to probably spend double of what it costs already. This is cool because this was something John Byrne was working on. I remember hearing about this 4 or 5 years ago, where he started doing a whole new X-Men run, and I believe he was offering it on his website, and they were just like copies of his penciled pages. But here, everything's been colored and inked, and everything's been put together. It's over 300 pages, and again, this is a really nicely put together hardcover. So let's dive into this a little bit and see what this is all about. It says John Byrne returns to the characters whose adventures he first steered to artistic greatness nearly 5 decades ago. This is the first of a 3-volume series of new adventures featuring the X-Men. But more than just a return series, he helped bring to prominence through much beloved influential storylines like Dark Phoenix Saga, Days of Future Past. There is a one-of-a-kind tale like no other here. It says Byrne not only wants to steer the adventures of the team along with special guests like the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man, but he does so by picking it up where he left off decades ago. Elsewind envisions a universe of stories as though Byrne never left the title in 1980, with one major difference leading all the stories that follow. Here, Jean Grey did not sacrifice herself for the good of the universe. Rather, she survived her experience as Dark Phoenix, and neither she nor the team nor the Marvel Universe will ever be the same. And it says Byrne is joined by the first volume by inker Paul Willis, colorist Laverne Kadzierski and Leonard O'Grady, Ruth Redmond, and Carlos Lopez, and letterer Patrick Brousseau. So there you go, classic John Byrne Cyclops there. There's the Phoenix. He dedicates this to Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. And we get a letter from John Byrne here. I'm going to do a deep dive on this, I think. And definitely try and read through it a little bit more. But let's just kind of flip through some of these pages here. Love seeing these team shots. Looks like some really cool stuff. It's all classic John Byrne era X-Men here. Kitty Pryde, the Shi'ar, Lilandra. Like all these detailed shots inside the Blackbird of the team. He's using all the characters that he loved from back in the day. Nightcrawler, Shadowcat. They're all in their classic costumes. I think this is my favorite look of the X-Men. I think it just barely beats out Jim Lee's early 90s version. I like the late 70s, early 80s costumes and look of the X-Men and just the team in general, like who's on the team the best. This is the sweet spot for X-Men. So really incredible seeing John Byrne getting to publish all this stuff through Marvel. I didn't know if Marvel would ever touch this stuff again. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of the old creators, like John Byrne, the legendary guys, I don't know if it's by their choice or the publisher's choice, but it doesn't seem like they get a lot of work in comics these days. You never see a John Byrne book anymore. He's clearly still got the stuff, though, to put out, maybe if not a monthly book, at least be in an ongoing series. So I believe part of this deal too was John wanted to prove to himself that he could still do it. And I don't know, based on the results I'm seeing here, he certainly can. And apparently this is a 3-volume series. So definitely looking forward to getting all of this collected eventually. Probably take a couple of years, I would imagine, but Sentinels obviously making a prominent appearance in this book. That's a cool looking page. No, there you get a nice splash page there. This looks like the horror issue of the series. There's Spider-Man showing up. Fantastic Four. I'm really glad that we get to see John Byrne drawing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. Like I said earlier, the Avengers showing up here. Sean Cassidy, Banshee, with more McTaggart. Those are some nice looking pages too. There's definitely some different inkers all throughout here, like I mentioned. You can see the different inking styles too. Apparently Walt Simonson, I think, inks a page in here as well. They've got the pages numbered too, if you notice, which is pretty nice. Man, this just looks so great. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Might take me a week or two, but I'll definitely come with the review of all this as soon as I can. That might be a fun video to make. It'll be a long video, I would imagine. Might have to be a two-parter. But here's the Avengers. Again, really great seeing John Byrne draw the Avengers, not just the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. I mean, John Byrne has his DNA all over Marvel Comics. He's done work on all these characters, is what I'm trying to say. So that's really cool. And that ship coming apart there. Maybe Asteroid M. I think all these titles have like little puns. Home is where the hurt is. Got some Nimrod Sentinels showing up. In Darkest Suburbia. Get some Avengers and X-Men here. Oh, there's like a Days of Future Past callback right there. Yeah, so this looks like a lot of fun. Definitely recommend picking this up if you still can. It says John Byrne is a British-born American comic book writer and artist who's worked continuously in comics since 1975. Got his start at Charlton and then moved on to Marvel doing Iron Fist and the Champions. Took over penciling on X-Men in 1977. And he's had runs, of course, on Fantastic Four. Helped create Alpha Flight, Sensational She-Hulk. And it says there he relaunched Superman in the mid-80s with DC for a new generation of readers. And yeah, honestly, John Byrne's Superman, his version of Superman, I think, is my favorite. The way he made Superman like this just ultra powerful, basically telepathic character who could just do whatever he set his mind to. I think that's the best, most realistic way to explain Superman's powers. So there you go, X-Men Elsewin. Flipping through that, that's a lot of fun. Can't wait to read all this and review it. Really nice cover too. Done in a classic style. I love the floating heads on the cover there. All right, now's the portion of the show where I'm going to be reading some viewer comments from some of my videos. Thank you all for leaving some comments, keeping the discussion going over here at Kaufman is Alive Comics here on my channel. Really appreciate that. First one here, we got Jack_Yo from my Marvel previews in August video. And they say another light month of Marvel Comics for me. Infernal Hulk, Thor, Doom Quest, Spider-Man 100, and the Silver Surfer facsimiles, and that's it. Glenn the Misfit, he commented on my Marvel previews for August video as well. He's always a common commenter on my channel. So he says, your idea for an alt universe horror series with Ghost Rider or Punisher makes much more sense, and I would have been buying that. As it stands though, I'll be skipping that Midnight series like pretty much everything else in that preview. Although I'm buying the trade paperbacks of Jed MacKay's Moon Knight, and I was a fan of the X-Men animated show from the 90s, so that nostalgia bait comic has me curious. Thanks for giving me a look at what's coming. Oh, and to be fair, that Fright Night homage cover for X-Men Midnight did look awesome. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out, Glenn, that there was a Fright Night homage on that Midnight X-Men cover that I did not catch on my video. So, and that Jed MacKay Moon Knight series, even though Jed's been writing it for a long time, it's been pretty consistently good. So definitely go try and check some of that out if you haven't already. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, this was from my Ben 10 blind bag video where I got the new Ben 10 comic. Issue number 1 had a blind bag. You could get a foil variant cover in them. And I didn't understand the significance of what I picked up at the time. But underscore Obi underscore Juan underscore Kenobi underscore says, holy moly, you just landed the best one, man. Thanks for the video. So yeah, I got the Duncan Rouleau Virgin variant foil cover. Duncan Rouleau, one of the co-creators of Ben 10. And apparently I got cover Z. Apparently that was one of the ones everyone was looking for. So I've never been disappointed picking up one of those blind bag scams, just so you guys know. But it's always worked out for me. I guess Lady Luck's just on my side. But let's see here. We got Jerry9594 says, nice to see other Youngblood fans out there. I've liked this new series so far. Very reminiscent of the classic issues of the 90s. I was on my Youngblood 100 review. Let's see, we got on my She-Spawn number 1 and 2 review, Payback 4140. Also leaves a lot of comments. Thank you for that, Payback. But he says, the reason why She-Spawn doesn't have a power meter is because she didn't gain her powers on how an actual Hellspawn would have obtained them by dying and making a deal with the devil. She was only given Hellspawn powers from Nyx. So I genuinely wanted to know. I asked that in my video. How come She-Spawn doesn't have a power meter at the end of her comic like Spawn? So there you go. That's the reason. Thanks again, Payback, for that. Then we got John79 Taxi Driver 20. This post kind of got to me. He says, sadly, can't buy comics no more. In 2 years, I'm now behind bad on my Scorched, King Spawn, Gunslinger, and Spawn. So he's a big Spawn fan. Like me. He says, very bummed out still. Now She-Spawn. Man, Gunslinger my favorite, I think. 19 or 27. I don't know. Lock my comics away and I think he's trying to say despair. Gonna have to sell. Can't buy all cash for food. No more vinyl and games anymore too. Man, that's really tough to hear, John. Sorry to hear about that. It sucks that when you can't buy comics, buy the things you like anymore. But hey, I'm glad my videos are giving you some form of happiness there. I'm glad we can share that, me flipping through all these books with you, and you getting to read them that way, I guess. So, but I can tell you, from me, everyone over here at Kaufman is Alive Comics, John, we hope you get things sorted out. And again, just thanks for watching and leaving that comment there. But we hope everything works out for you, man. Let's see what else we got here. Art style is fine. Brett Bean is beast. This is from Alfredo Scorfano 7026 on my Dork number 3 review, commenting how I had mentioned the art style really wasn't for me in Dork, even though I am picking up those books. Yeah, he says, art style fine, Brett Bean beast. So there you go. Let's see, Richie Pormel's 180. They say Spawn 375. He says, I don't see me buying Spawn books until Spawn 400 where Todd McFarlane returns. So wonder if a lot of people feel that way. And is Todd returning in issue 400? Is that confirmed? Returning to artwork? I kind of doubt he ever returns to actually doing any interior pages on a consistent basis. Let's see, we got I got the Silver Surfer number 3, my facsimile foil edition review. Dave's Ideas and Creations says, great book. It is definitely an improvement with the foil, which is what I thought too. I thought the foils just looked great. There was a new comic that came out this week, the new Swamp Thing 89. I think it was issue 3 of that. Had this awesome foil that came out. I was really on the fence about buying that, but after I picked up the John Burns Elsewind book, I was like, I should probably just stop there. Stop at X-Men. Don't need to pick up any other overpriced books just because they're shiny, is what I got down to. So, and I've already picked up one of the foils from that series, so that kind of will hold me over, I guess. That let's see, we got Game Boy _colorful 7078 on my Energon Universe G.I. Joe number 22 review says, I started reading this at issue 19 and I really like this run. I'm in on it. And he says also the guy on the cover reminds me a lot of Doctor Strange. Yeah, Crystal Ball kind of has a Doctor Strange look for sure. Let's see, on my Youngblood number 1 changes to the direct market edition video that I did, because if you get the Youngblood number 1, you could have ordered it off Rob's website, or the one you got in the stores. They had some different pages, some different inks, and some different colors and spots. But Tito Camello, he says, thanks for sharing, bro. I didn't know about those interior page differences. Yeah, man, that's what I'm here for. Mike's Total Dragon channel, 3743, go check out his channel as well. A common commenter again on my channel. But on my Hush 2 finale video, he says the whole thing can only be viewed as a failure. And I totally 100% agree. Hope they can try and make up for it in Hush 2 Volume 2 when if that ever comes out. Then we got Lando of Mert 76 from my Youngblood 100 covers video talking about Liefeld. He says he never drew backgrounds. He would have the inker and colorer do them, which most of the time is pretty much true. Liefeld not known to draw backgrounds. Matt Elder from my G.I. Joe number 22 review. He says, appreciate the review, and it did feel like a bit of the left turn for the series to take a horror slant. That said, I've enjoyed Joshua Williamson's writing, so see where it goes, which is what I said. And I did decide to drop G.I. Joe for now until they get past this little horror story arc, because it just wasn't for me. So I did not pick up that new issue that came out last week. So I think we'll end the show there. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already, if you made it this far. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay cool, stay happy, stay in touch.
Thank you very much.